Welcome back. It's Friday, June 12th, and we have the World Cup, a bunch of plays in the MLB, and then also Game 5 of the NBA Finals tomorrow night. And I do have an early play for that game as well. So I'm going to jump right into all the plays for tonight, and then I will get to tomorrow as well. I'll also talk a little bit about UFC. I'll be putting out a bunch of UFC plays over the weekend for Sunday night, which I'm super excited for the Freedom 250, which is going to be just a thriller. So can't wait for that. Let's jump into some of the plays I've got for tonight. I'll hop over here to my Twitter. Got a big one that I'm riding tonight. I had Mexico winning yesterday. They won yesterday, got the job done. And then I paired that with United States money line tonight. They are playing Paraguay tonight. Let's hope they can get it done. They have a great young core, and obviously massive home field advantage playing in California. So I think they're favored. Should be able to get it done. I hope that it doesn't end in a draw, which that Canada game just ended in. That kind of would suck, but they are favored for a reason. I bet there is a ton of people riding the United States tonight. But yeah, let's hope they can get it done. 90% of the bets are placed on DraftKings on USA to win straight up. That's obviously not surprising, but hopefully they can get it done. I'm looking forward to that. Watching that tonight. It's going to be an absolute blast. And then for tonight specifically, I've got a bunch of MLB props, hit rates, and then 2 parlays. So I will get into all of that. Right here, pitcher hit rates. Couple that are standing out to me tonight. Mizorowski facing the Phillies. Phillies strike out a ton. I think that number he'll cruise over. He's had 8 strikeouts in 9 straight games. I think he should easily be able to clear that tonight. I wouldn't mind taking Bryce Miller or Joe Ryan too. I think those are 2 good props for tonight. Home run bet. We've cashed 2 of the last 4 home run bets. 12.35 overall. Tonight, I'm going with Gunnar Henderson, plus 374. He's played pretty well this season. 13 home runs coming into tonight. It's also a pretty good matchup for him. Griffin Canning will start for the Padres. Against him, he's got 8 at-bats. He's batting .500 with a home run in that stretch. I think it's going to be a good matchup for him tonight. Canning's also struggled a ton in 2026. 6.34 ERA coming into this one. A bunch of runs allowed over his first couple starts. So Gunner to go deep. I'm locking that in for the home run bet tonight. And then five player props here in the MLB that I'm liking. So I'll dive into all of those. First, we're going to start with Braxton Ashcraft of the Pirates. Now, he's actually on the hit rates sheet, but I am taking his under tonight. Under 6.5. I bumped it up a little bit, but he's facing the Marlins tonight. They don't strike out a ton, only pretty much 8 times per game. 4 times over the last 3 they're averaging. So I think it's probably an under spot for him tonight. I could see him maybe hitting 5, but 7 strikeouts, it's going to be pretty hard for Ashcraft to get to. So I'll take the under on that one. Then going on to some hitters. So Taylor Ward's going to be the first one, just for him to get a hit. Kind of a slow start to the season, but he's definitely heating up. He's on a 5-game hitting streak coming into tonight. Also, just like Henderson, facing Griffin Canning, who struggled a bunch. So he'll lead off most likely for the Orioles. I think over half a hit he should be able to clear pretty easily tonight for the Orioles. 3 more hitters. Brandon Nimmo over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I just think 4 straight games he's been over this, and he's historically hit Sonny Gray really, really well. 13 at-bats against him, 385 batting average against Gray. Just with the recent production and then his past against Gray, I think this is a good spot for Brandon Nimmo to go over. Chase Mydroth, another hitter. He is pretty much, this play is exclusively because he's got a hit in 11 straight games. It's pretty great streak for Mydroth. He will go up against Roki Sasaki, who definitely has swing and miss potential. He is going to strike a bunch of guys out. He also can be kind of wild at times. But I think, where is that game? I think he will be able to muster up a hit. He is on a pretty crazy streak, 11 straight games. His batting average is super high as well. So Mydroth over hit, that's hopefully going to hit tonight as well. Then last one, late game, a West Coaster, Yandy Diaz over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He's been on a tear as well recently. 13 hits alone in his last 7 games played. Also added 8 RBIs to that total as well. This one's going to be in the parlay for tonight. He's facing a really young, inexperienced pitcher for the Angels as well. I think that benefits him a ton. It's going to be a lefty on righty matchup, which should favor Diaz as well. So he could potentially get 2 hits, just straight up 2 hits. But we also got the runs and RBIs in our favor as well. So with the parlay, I guess we'll go to this one first. All hitters, so just three hitters I like, just went over them. Ward, Mydroth, Diaz. It's 20 to win 59. For all the reasons I stated, I like all 3 of those hitters. So pretty good odds here for just a couple hits and a bunch of guys that are super hot right now. So I like that play a ton. And then I went with a little bit of a hit rates parlay, 2 pitchers and then a hitter. So I got Mizorowski over the 7.5 Ks. I just think that's going to be a lock tonight against the Phillies. They strike out a ton. And it's been 9 straight games over 7.5 Ks for Mizorowski. Phillies are, I believe, bottom 10 in the league in strikeouts, 8.5 times per game on average for the Phillies. And then I also included Joe Ryan in this one. He's also in the hit rates for the pitchers. He's cleared 4.5 Ks in 6 straight games now coming into tonight. Cardinals don't strike out a ton typically, but Ryan can definitely miss some bats. So I think he'll get over 4.5, keep the streak alive tonight against the Cardinals. And then speaking of the Cardinals, our hitter here for this parlay, I do have Jordan Walker in this lay as well. It's kind of interesting because I got Ryan for the Ks and then Walker for a hit. The hit doesn't necessarily have to come off Joe Ryan, but I think this is a good play here because he's facing Joe Ryan. He's actually hit really well against him. He's faced him 3 times. He's got 3 hits. So batting 1,000 off Joe Ryan. But he also can strike out. Walker's going to strike out a ton. He's a big swing guy, swing and miss guy. But when he hits the ball, he really hits the ball. So I think it could benefit us in both ways here. He could go over the Ks. He could help Ryan with the Ks, and then he could also get a hit. So, I think that's a good play to finish off this one. 20 to win 49, so little less for the payout on this parlay, but I still think pretty good odds. A couple guys with streaks going on right now, so I like that. And it's pretty much it for the MLB there. I got the 2 parlays, hit rates. If you want to use any of those, head over to Twitter, Nolan Klein Bets. You can find all of that for tonight. And then I'm going to move on to the NBA. Big game tomorrow night, Game 5. I won't be live tomorrow, so I'll just talk about it tonight. This kind of looks crazy. Knicks are underdogs by 5.5. I know it's back in San Antonio, but the Knicks did sweep in San Antonio to open the series. So if I had to lean one way, I'm probably taking the Knicks plus the 5.5 points, just because of what they've done so far. Yeah, that's probably what I would lean there. I'd also probably lean the over. Let's see does it show? Okay, yeah, it shows what's going on. So just on DraftKings here, 54% of the bets are on the Knicks money line. 71% are on 5.5. So I would agree with that. I honestly can't believe the Knicks are getting 5.5, coming off what they just did, that crazy comeback, and then the first 2 games as well. So I think a lot of people are going to be on the Knicks tomorrow night. I don't have a straight play yet. I didn't really commit to one, but I do have a couple player props that I'm liking a lot. I found 3. I'm going to run back to Parlay just like we did for Game 4. Found 3 that I like early. So I've got Wemby over 24.5 points in Game 5. He's cleared that total in the first 3 games of the finals. He's already dropped 30 once. Obviously, a ton of pressure, and he's still super young, but I think he can be up to this challenge. He's back at home. They obviously need the win. So Wemby over 24.5 points. I am going to lock that one in right now. Next one I got for the Spurs, Dylan Harper, coming off the bench still, and he burned me in Game 4 with the rebounds, but I'm not taking the rebounds. I'm taking over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists, because he's hit it in 6 straight playoff games. He dropped 21 points in Game 4. I was literally begging for another rebound, and he was lights out shooting, but he did not catch the rebounds. So I like getting accumulation of all the stats here for Game 5. They're back at home. He should still get a ton of playing time. So kind of running that back, but just points, rebounds, assists over the 21.5 for Dylan Harper. And then again, OG Anunoby, over 16.5 points. I have to do it. He's been incredible pretty much the entire series. I'm kind of just fully leaning into it. He's been over 16.5 points in 6 straight games now. He's starting and playing pretty much the entire game. He's also averaging 12.5 field goal attempts per game. So, 12.5 shots per game. You can't really ask for anything more for him. The line is at 18.5, so I did bump it down a little bit to 16.5, but I think this one cashes. He's shooting a ton. Unless he goes completely cold, I don't see a way where OG's under this 16.5 mark. So there's 3 early plays for tomorrow, Game 5. Must win for the Spurs, obviously. Wemby over the 24.5 points, Harper over the 21.5 points, rebounds, assists, and then OG over the 16.5 points. And then I just paired that all up into a parlay. 2 pretty good odds, 2.5x. So not terrible for Game 5. So 20 wins around just over 50. So I like that a lot. Let's see what. Yeah, people are leaning over. I'd lean over in this one. I think this game goes over. I feel like it's just so low, but yeah, they don't even list it. 25 points is minus 238 for Wemby here. 15 plus is, what do we have it at? We have it at 17. So OG. So, okay, it's minus a little. But anyways, those are the props that I like for NBA. So we got MLB, NBA covered. And then last thing I'm going to touch on, I'm going to go over to DraftKings and look at the UFC card because it's massive and I'm definitely going to be involved. I'm going to be putting out plays probably tomorrow, Saturday. Have a play for pretty much every fight. Maybe not the first one. Can I go back and see a list of the fighters? Yeah, I don't know much about Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia. I'm gonna have a fight on the Nickel Dawkins fight. I want to bet Michael Chandler straight up so bad, but because he just seems like an awesome dude, but I don't think he's gonna win. And he's obviously not favored. Rufi's plus or minus 650 on the money line. One that I know I'm going to hammer, Josh Hokett. I don't know what he is for a KO. Yeah, I'm going to hammer Josh Hokett minus 135 for a KO, TKO, or DQ because he's going to come out swinging against Derek Lewis. Obviously, Lewis has some knockout power, but Hokett really surprised me in his last fight against Curtis Blades. Came out swinging like crazy and had a bunch of really, really great shots that he landed on Blades. So Derek Lewis, obviously getting older, aging, and really hasn't looked that good in a couple of his past fights. I'll do a write-up on it for tomorrow, but yeah, he has not looked good. So Hokett, I'm leaning Hokett early. The Bo Nickel fight down here, I don't know if I like taking anything straight up or like submission or KO. I do think this fight is not going to go the distance. I don't know what they have it at. Yeah, okay, it's minus 235, so not great odds to just lay, but I don't think this fight's going the distance. Most of Nickel's fights in the past have not went the distance. I believe he's fought 9 times. 8 fights have ended early. So I'm leaning that as something to just throw in a parlay for that one. Not sure yet what I'm going to do with the O'Malley fight. He's a heavy, heavy favorite. But I also think that his opponent has a legit chance. O'Malley said he's going to come out pretty much swinging in this one. So I'll have to figure out what I'm going to play on that one. The Pereira and Gain fight is pretty much even money. I do think Alex Pereira is going to win this fight, though. He's going up to heavyweight, which will be difficult for him. 82% of the bets are on Pereira, money line. And I think that's probably the play. I mean, Gain is a big, big dude. But Pereira is nasty. He's got huge one-punch power. So I'm leaning Pereira on that one. And then main event, Topuria Gaethje. I mean, Topuria is a huge favorite. I think this fight probably goes over 1.5 rounds. But I'm also thinking maybe I can do something with significant strikes for Gaethje. I think Gaethje will come out swinging heavily. Let's see if I can do fighter props maybe. Yeah, so significant strikes for Gaethje. Yeah, like 45 plus significant strikes is plus 100, so even money. I think that's a legit bet for this one. Okay, here you can go minus 115 is over 33.5. I like that a lot. I think he comes out swinging, gets a couple shots early on Topuria, but I think Topuria is just going to overwhelm him, especially if the fight goes to round 2 or 3. And he's going to probably struggle with Topuria, especially his quickness and just his punch power is elite. He's obviously undefeated for a reason, so I'd lean Topuria, but I think Gaethje could get him early with a couple nice jabs. So pretty much everything for this weekend. I'll be cheering on the USA tonight. Super excited for that game. But that's pretty much it for tonight, this weekend. Hopefully all these bets come through and hit. And I will see you next Monday for more picks, more plays, more player props.